Hey there friends, welcome back to another Legally Armed America video. I'm of course Paul Glasgow here, the one and only truth pimp, dealing you a vulgar display of logic and reason on a daily basis. A little bit different story for you today. To me, it exposes, I think, a tremendous risk, not just to various people in Washington, D.C., but the President of the United States. Real quick, guys, if you don't mind, go check out my website, legallyarmedamerica.com. Again, legallyarmedamerica.com. I don't mention it a whole lot because it's just out there, and we do this kind of as a service to make sure people have a place to go. But there are a lot of deals out there. We painstakingly go through a bunch of deals online, and we try to find true deals. You know how some people say this is 20% off whenever they're actually advertising for the exact same price as what it normally is? They just tell you this is what it is. We actually find deals. We find things that are cheaper than you can find them anywhere else, and we consolidate those items onto the website at legallyarmedamerica.com. That way, all you got to do is go there and look. If you're looking for ammo, there's places for ammo. If you're looking for firearms, there's places for firearms. There's different categories that we take the time to separate and give you those specific deals so you don't have to hunt them down. So go check it out, legallyarmedamerica.com. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter, because once a week we send out a newsletter. I think it's either Thursday or Friday we send that out. And we'll take 5 or 6 of those deals and put them in the newsletter. But you can always go to the website and see way more out there. So go to legallyarmedamerica.com, sign up for the newsletter, but also check to see the deals and specials that we can find out there. And we update that thing weekly. So it's not like old stale stuff. We are going to put new products out there as they come available. Also, don't forget, my new book is now available for pre-order. If you want to go to damnliars.net, again, damnliars.net, pre-order the book. I sign every single one of them. So you don't need to worry if I'm going to sign it. I will sign it. Unless I get to a point where I'm a New York Times best-selling author, I'm signing every one. I signed every single copy of my old book, How to Make a Monster, and I intend to do the same on this one as well. Friends, not sure if you saw this Project Veritas thing that came out. I think it was yesterday or Thursday that it actually came out. And it's a little troubling to me. I think it shows a soft underbelly still with security surrounding Donald Trump. You know, Donald Trump's life was almost taken last year, almost a year ago this time, probably about 53 to 54 weeks ago. It doesn't seem like we've learned a whole lot from that instance, but it doesn't seem like we've improved a whole lot either. And what I mean by that is it seems like we are still allowing the president, and I guess he's allowing it because they're his people, but to be surrounded by people who either don't care about his safety or worse, don't like him, meaning they might actually sidestep that bullet. You know, Secret Service are supposed to take a bullet, quote unquote, for their protectee. I'm not so sure they all feel that way now, and this Project Veritas thing is, I think, more evidence of that. An undercover Project Veritas person, it sounds like he catfished Mr. Mark, federal officer at DHS, went to Hofstra. Mark is 28 years old, and apparently Mark is gay. Now, this is not a knock at gay people.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, of course not.
I mean, it's fine if that's who you are.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have many gay friends.
My father's gay.
Look,
Just so happens that this seems to be happening an awful lot in Washington, D.C. Let me explain the story to you first, and then we'll go into why this is troublesome and how and why maybe this always seems to happen in that D.C. specific area. So Mark was catfished by somebody via texting that apparently he wanted to get stanky with. Well, Mark texted, well, if you're close to the White House, you can come here and I can say hi, LOL. Are you working while you're here? The spy or undercover Project Veritas person responded, ha ha, that would be cool. I'm not working the next 2-3 days. You're at the White House? Mark responds, yes, I am. The response was, that's awesome. Well, I'm glad you don't have to work while you're here. Ugh, me too. I've been going every day. I'm trying to live this thing out like I'm sure they're saying to each other. They decided I needed to legally take 2 days off. Ha ha. Mark tells him later, if you want, I can show you where I am right now for work. Sure, I'm really impressed. You're so cool. And he shows a picture of the White House front lawn. Our undercover Project Veritas guy says, no way! And then Mark responds, yeah, this is where I work every day. The spy responds, "Wow, you're something special, huh?" You can just see the catfishing, man. How do people not see this crap coming a mile away? Let me finish up. So Mark responds, "Or if you prefer DC, we can go out in the city too." The spy says, "DC would probably be better for me, so what kind of stuff do you do for work? Your job sounds really cool and impressive." And then Mark, feeling real swole up, that might have dual meanings, says, "Okay, we can do DC then." And then he goes, "And I'm in protection, so I travel with protectees and provide access control wherever they are." Then our spy says, "That's so cool, like government people?" Mark says, "Yeah, I'll tell you more when we see each other Friday." Finally, the last slide says, "I'm liberal, voted that way since I was 18. Of course, our spy hearts it to really get into him, and he goes, "Me too." Mark says, "Well, I'm glad we agree on that." Our Project Veritas guy says, "Same," with blowing hearts. He says, "I can't stand the felon in office." This is where he's really baiting him. Mark responds, "Yeah, he's done a lot of wacky shit right now. Excuse my French." Our Veritas guy says, "Ugh, I know, talk about a shit show." Mark responds, "It seems like every day it's something new." Guys, this is someone either protecting Donald Trump directly or protecting the perimeter of the White House. Now, because he's trying to get into the Project Veritas guy's pants, he might be embellishing a little bit. It's possible he's lying. It's possible that he might just be the guy that goes out to the mailbox and brings the mailbox in. Or excuse me, the mail in. He may not even see Donald Trump. We don't know that. I feel like if he were really close to Donald Trump, that he probably would say that. Probably would take pictures of the back of Donald Trump's head while he was walking in the office or something like that. He's probably an underling, a low-level Secret Service guy. But clearly, he's on property. Clearly, he is a weakness in that perimeter. Clearly, he is someone who not only doesn't feel compelled to protect Donald Trump, but sounds like he doesn't like the guy. Which again, would he take a bullet for him? I mean, that is his job. Doesn't sound to me like he would. Now, I know the obvious question is, why is it always DC? It's always the gay stuff in DC, right? I've told you guys before, don't have a problem with the gay stuff. Do what you want.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Don't put it in my face. I don't wear t-shirts celebrating to you how straight I am. So as long as you keep your thing to yourself, I shouldn't have said that. As long as you keep your habits to yourself, I'll keep mine to myself. I don't need to tell you how much I like women. So I don't need to know how much you like the D.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
But it's always DC. I mean, I know this is, what's his name? O'Keefe's. This is O'Keefe's old group, Project Veritas. But still, his new group, the Michael O'Keefe or whatever, OMG or something like that. They use the same pattern. They bait these gay guys in the DC area into telling them stupid stuff. We've seen it throughout this. We've seen FBI guys go down. We've seen a number of guys go down because they get so giddy when another gay man that they don't know is getting around them that they lose composure. They lose themselves. In fact, a strange statistic, and this might blow your mind a little bit, or it may not surprise you at all. You know what the gayest town, and again, this is not knocks against gay people. These are observations. This is all stuff that you can find online yourself. You know what the gayest town in America is? And I guess you could take that multiple ways and probably be accurate. Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is the gayest town in America. Even more so than San Francisco and some of these other communities that you automatically think of when you think of gay people. It's 14.5% gay. That's a lot, and it's by far the most gay in the country. Now, why does that matter? I mean, like I said earlier, I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're a bone smoker. This doesn't matter to me. Again, keep that in your ring. I'll stay in mine. We're good. The problem is that gay men are twice as likely to be promiscuous. There's a study that I read where the average heterosexual man might have, and this is an average, so all of you studs out there and all you nerds out there, don't come at me from different angles saying that's not the number that I know of, but the average heterosexual man in his lifetime has about 10 partners. Partners, right? Talking about heterosexual partners. The average heterosexual man has 10 women that he sleeps with. The average gay man has 20. Twice as much. Now, why does that matter? Because like old Mark here, trying to get in this Project Veritas guy's pants, being promiscuous and trying to get some ass makes you do stupid, careless things. This is a scientific fact. You're way more careless and you do way more stupid things. Hell, most of us can attest to that, right? In our lifetimes. But research shows that people often become more risky and careless in their decision making when sexually aroused, which can directly influence behaviors aimed at pursuing or engaging in sex. This phenomenon is actually, it has a name. It's described as hot-cold empathy gap, where individuals in an aroused, meaning hot state, underestimate risks they would otherwise avoid in a neutral, meaning cold state. For instance, studies have found that sexual arousal increases intentions to engage in unprotected sex, for instance, reduces the likelihood of using condoms, and heightens willingness to partake in morally questionable actions to facilitate a sexual encounter. Now, to make things worse, that's on studies that have been conducted in most parts with heterosexual people. With gay men, again, as I stated earlier with being promiscuous, it's way worse. But if we're going to be talking about security for Donald Trump, we have to look at the fact that gay, promiscuous men in Washington, D.C., who are Secret Service, who are responsible for taking care of the president and protecting the president, might not be the best thing. Speaking of that hot-cold empathy gap, evidence from psychological research suggests that arousal-induced riskier sexual behavior can manifest more prominently in gay men compared to heterosexual men, though this is influenced by differences in baseline traits like sexual excitability, inhibition tendencies, and cultural factors, rather than fundamentally different mechanisms. Now, clearly not all gay men fit this profile. Again, another disclaimer for everybody out there getting their pink panties in a wad.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
But clearly you can tell by old Mark here, his comments about trying to get all swole up and puffed up to impress this guy. This guy is obviously trying to get some strange from the Project Veritas guy. And it seems like he's like a little over eager. Like, I don't know that it's acceptable in his job to take pictures of the White House and be texting that to some guy that he really doesn't know. Like, he knows him enough to try to get some ass from him. But how much does he really know him? Because he's having to describe what he does, where he works, and what, you know, that kind of stuff. So clearly he's not that close with him. But yet he's texting him pictures of the White House. Likely an unsecure connection because you're connecting with somebody outside of your Secret Service bubble. So you're sending pictures of the protectee's place. I'm not so sure that's, again, acceptable with management and the Secret Service. This really bothers me. This goes back to the same old thing that the first time Trump was in office, he didn't fire near enough people. And this time when he came in, yeah, he fired some people, but he left too many people in place. There's too many people still at the FBI. There's too many people in all different levels of the government. Heck, last time there were people that worked in the White House who hated Donald Trump. And how he didn't sniff that out and get rid of them, I don't know. I strongly recommended when he came in this time, he should have fired as many people as he could and just had people ready. He had months to prepare these people. It don't take that long to teach somebody some of these things from November 5th to January 20th, right? You have enough time to train up people, especially your circle of security directly around you. And now we're left with guys like Mark over here that are indiscriminately trying to pull some strange to just random gay guys in D.C. by sending them pictures saying that he doesn't like Trump and that this is where I work, showing unsecured photos of the White House when his job is for security and to make sure and crack down on that security to make sure there are no holes in the perimeter or anything else regarding a threat to Donald Trump, knowing that at least that we know of twice people have tried to take him out, and this is how you treat your job? I hope by tomorrow Mark doesn't work there anymore. I really mean this. I hate to see people put out on the street, but I love to see people like this put out on the street. Whenever they do things that are careless like this, that put not only Donald Trump in danger, but really the security of the entire nation. If something were to happen to Donald Trump, imagine the chaos that would ensue if anything were to happen. Heck, if somebody breached the White House property, think of what that would do, right? Things would be shut down. Airports it would be chaos. And this guy's over here flirting with he doesn't know who. Now you might be thinking, this is just some Project Veritas spy or undercover guy. Representative Swalwell was banging a Chinese spy. We don't know who these people are trying to get ass from, right? Because they're using their positions, just like in this texting and just like Swalwell did, to try to impress somebody else with what their status is so they can get laid. So we don't know and they don't know who they're talking with until they know who they're talking with. This could have been a Chinese spy, just like Fang Fang that Swalwell banged, that this guy Mark was talking to, and could have been putting the president and the whole country at risk by doing this. That's why this drives me nuts. They don't vet these people well enough. I don't know what it takes to make them do a better job of vetting these people. But somebody needs to step up and make sure that it's done right. And I meant no offense to Bert and Ernie in this segment. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you don't mind, please like the video, share the video. Obviously, my videos don't have a far reach because they don't get recommended, because immediately when I upload them, they get hammered with a demonetization from YouTube, which means they get squashed down on the algorithm. So by you guys liking it, commenting, and sharing the video, obviously subscribing as well, that allows my videos to emerge out of that and get into more of that recommended category for people who are like-minded like you and I to be able to see them. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
He's so